Hello and welcome to this video. It's a rundown of my voting scores following my design of rooms on the Design Home app. It's a continuation of a video I've just uploaded, and it's looking at a handful, or maybe a few more than a handful, of the rooms that I designed a little earlier on in my Design Home journey. So I'm on level 13 now. For the designs I'm about to show you along with their scores, I think I was on level 9 or 10 when I created them. So we'll start with this one, Lavender of Lion, a disappointing 4.04. I'm not surprised. The thing about these rooms, you get given a room with some design in it already, often, not always. In this case, all the purple you see, all that purple backdrop was already in the room. So all I did was to put in everything else that you see. So I decided to go for the pink chairs against the purple backdrop. Chose the rug, chose everything else. I like the combination of pink and purple. It probably won't work in a real room, which is probably why it scored this low. But I thought it was cute. It's not real, but it looks cute, I think. Voters disagreed. Any score above a 4 gets a prize, so I'm not mad at this. And then to continue where I left off in the previous video, we have this room here called Setting the Table, and it's a dining room. 4.61, which is fairly good. This is quite a minimalist dining room. I was initially trying to go for a black and white theme, but I then put in some purple in there on the center of the table as well as the wall art, and then I popped the plant in the corner, put the black pots on the other corner, and it looks good. I think it deserves a 4.6. This room, I'm not sure why I went with the same design on either side of the room. After I'd submitted it, I then wished I'd gone a little bit more creative. But afterwards, while I was voting, I saw other designs for the same room, and everyone had done exactly the same. It probably works out cheaper because once you purchase a piece of furniture, you can use it 5 times before you need to purchase another set. So I think I just decided to double up on everything. It's not a horrible room. It's a nice room, actually. It looks good, but there's nothing spectacular or unusual. It's part of a series as well. 4.28 I think is a fair score. A Palm Beach party. This was brave because the last time I used those 2 patterned chairs, I scored below a 4. This time I tried to be a little bit more careful in how I used it, and it seems to have paid off because 4.37 I think is lucky. I think I got away with it, basically. I was probably saved by those plants. I love those the bunch of flowers on either side of the room there. They look very bridal, and it seems each time I use them, I score better than I would otherwise have scored with a different flower, I think. So I'm pleased with this score, 4.37. Now this room I thought would score a 5. I mean, doesn't it look wow? I think it looks wow. The chair that's closest to us, the one right at the front, it's got a bit of gold in it, and it's, you know, I think everything just works here. My one mistake was probably that lamp with the purple and green bubbles underneath it. But then again, it's not terrible. I thought this would do better than 4.5. I thought it would do, you know, I thought it could hit 4.9. Maybe I'm overly optimistic, or maybe I give more praise than is due to to my designs. But if I don't love them, who's going to love them, eh? Wolfboro Lux. This scored fairly low, I think. Now, every time I say fairly low, I'm probably being, I'm not being generous enough to myself, because anything above a 4 is really, it's a really good score. but given that you only get a prize when you score above a 4, it feels as though anything in the lower 4s is pretty poor. So this is a good enough room. I think I did a good job with it. I wish I could have scored a little bit more than 4.14, but it's okay. This is a brave choice. I was given the curtains, so the room came with the purple curtains. I chose to put pretty much no other purple in there than the purple you see in the basket on the floor by the sofa and the purple on the sideboard to the left of the screen. Everything else I thought I'd try to go with a black and white theme because I'd read somewhere on Reddit that black and white themes tend to score highly in this game. Not so for this design. I clearly picked the wrong room to attempt this black and white theme in. I think the gold on the ceiling and the purple on the side just suggests I should have probably stuck with that theme. But 4.01, lucky escape. This is another one that to me is brave, it's bold, I think it looks good. And voters didn't think so. 4.19, I think that's fairly low. There are some nice touches in there. I have the blue in the lamp under the window. I've got the blue under the window that's got the leaf in it. The table, the center of the room with the table and the decoration on top of the table. Everything looks all right. I've even got a nice fluffy stool and a bright rug, but 4.19, that's all I could manage. Now this is a rustic room, Billings Beautiful. I was really proud of this room because I stuck with the rustic theme. You'll often find that some decorations, even though nice, don't really stick with the theme or the story that goes with the design, and that's fine. You know, at the end of the day, we can style it whichever way we like, and voters just go by how they feel in that split second when they look at it. I stuck to the rustic theme as much as I could in this one, hence the autumnal colours, and 4.51 I think is a good reward for that. This, I'm not surprised it scored low. I wasn't particularly optimistic about this one. The chairs are boring, the table is boring. Now, my lucky plant is in there, so perhaps it wasn't the best use of that plant. The rest of the room just looks dull. The wall art isn't particularly inspiring, but Anchorage Slumbers this design is rather asleep, I think. 3.95, fair enough. What do we have here? I read on the Reddit site that using animal print is always a risk, and I think that's true, because this room isn't that bad. I decided to go with a sort of pinky on one side and then a purpley on the other, and then bring it together with the rug and the plants, etc. I think this works. The voters don't think it works and scored 3.98. Essence of Paris. I was a bit confused by this one because you see a lot more building than you see furnishing or decor, but I guess the beauty of this app is the variety of rooms and outdoor spaces that they present to you for designing, so that's fine. And it scored 4.51, which I thought was good. I'm pleased with this, and yes, I'll take anything above 4.5. To me is particularly good, so that's excellent, I think. How many more do we have? I may need to do a third video. Yes, definitely. We're not going to get through all of these, but let's do a couple more. This looks like a child's bedroom, spunky and fresh. 4.15 I think is unfair for this. I mean, this is so well coordinated. You've got the yellows and the blues. You've got your plants, you've got your toys. It looks, I would have thought this would be a 4.4 at least, but it is what it is. Now this one, it's a shame the text in the bottom right corner covers some of it, because I was particularly proud of this. It uses a fair bit of glass and a sort of midnight blue. So the theme is blue, and it wasn't that easy to find a rug that showed off the glass the way it does. So if you look at the finer detail, this is a really good room. It's actually an outdoor space, which could have scored higher, but you know, when people are voting, they're taking a split second to decide. Often they're voting in order to get enough keys to submit another design, so it's all done fairly quickly. So the challenge really is making an impression immediately, which this probably didn't do as much as I would have liked. 4.39 is not bad, but I think it could have scored a bit higher. And we have this springtime inspiration. This scored 4.6, which is good. It's bright, it's colourful, it's well coordinated, it looks airy, and it's, you know, the table and the side table match quite nicely. The lamps look good. It was a good choice of rug. 4.6 is good. I'm happy with that. And we'll do the last one, which was a disappointing 3.9. This room was very easy to style, and I thought I'd keep it minimalist, and I thought it looked really good. I saw another user on Reddit who had a design that's not so different from this. He scored a 4.3. I think there was a lot of competition with this room. Because it's easy to style, people really took on this challenge and produced some wow rooms. Now, I did notice that I put one of my favorite gold chairs in this room. It's to the right of the screen. Every time I put this chair in a room, it scores below a 4. So why do I keep doing it? Because I like it. That's why. And I think that's where I'll stop. Thanks again for watching this video clip on the Design Home app with the House of Harmony.